African unity and African integration are something all African countries should work to achieve because it is the only way for Africa to be completely free to grow and develop. So when we see two African countries working together to achieve a common goal, it is something that should be applauded and encouraged. You see, when the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, suspended Burkina Faso from the bloc and imposed sanctions on it because of the coup, the officials of the bloc probably thought that doing so would isolate Burkina Faso and force Captain Traore to give power back to the corrupt democratic system. However, instead of that happening, the leadership of Burkina Faso has grown stronger, withdrawn from the bloc, and a lot of foreign countries that formerly condemned the government have even endorsed it. But aside from foreign countries, countries within Africa are also choosing to align themselves with Burkina Faso. One such African country is the Kingdom of Morocco. During the fourth session of the Morocco-Burkina Faso Joint Commission, co-chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, African Cooperation and Moroccans living abroad, Nasser Bourita, and his Burkina Faso counterpart, Olivier Ragnagnuende Ruamba, Burkina Faso and Morocco signed a series of bilateral agreements. During the meeting, the two ministers reiterated their shared determination to make the Morocco-Burkina Faso partnership a model of South-South and inter-African cooperation. They commended the strong bonds of friendship and solidarity between the two countries, emphasizing the deep respect and esteem shared between His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, and His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traore, President of the Transition and Head of State of Burkina Faso. The ministers further praised the fraternal and solid ties between their nations, affirming their commitment to enhance and diversify bilateral cooperation, particularly in economic and commercial areas. They highlighted the meeting's role in invigorating the excellent relations between Morocco and Burkina Faso. Both sides welcomed the ongoing and fruitful bilateral cooperation, noting opportunities to broaden and strengthen partnerships in sectors such as security, transportation, education, agriculture, food safety, water, and health. The ministers underscored the shared commitment of their leaders to fostering economic ties under a new strategic partnership. Minister Bourita reiterated Morocco's readiness to support Burkina Faso's socio-economic development efforts. The Burkinabe side acknowledged Morocco's efforts, led by His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, in promoting peace and development across Africa. They emphasized Morocco and Burkina Faso's joint desire to contribute to peace and stability in Africa, particularly in the Sahel region, and affirmed their determination to participate in conflict resolution efforts on the continent. Both parties reaffirmed their leaders' dedication to advancing lasting peace and economic prosperity in Africa, particularly in the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. Minister Bourita expressed Morocco's full solidarity in Burkina Faso's fight against terrorism and extremism, pledging ongoing support for Burkina Faso's stability and development initiatives. Ms. Ruamba expressed gratitude for Morocco's solidarity and assistance amid security and humanitarian challenges. They also praised their effective coordination and mutual support in continental and international forums, committing to intensify consultations to align their positions. They expressed mutual satisfaction with their consistent support for each other in various continental and international arenas. Consequently, both sides agreed to continue mutually supporting the candidacies of Morocco and Burkina Faso in these forums. Now, as part of the agreement, both parties signed an agreement on mutual administrative assistance in customs matters aimed at applying the customs legislation of both countries, preventing, investigating, and punishing customs offenses, and ensuring the security of the international logistics chain. The agreement also aims to strengthen cooperation between the two countries through the exchange of experience in technologies, risk analysis and management, and technologies used in the valuation of motor vehicles. The two countries also signed an action plan in the field of justice for the period 2024 to 2025, which aims to promote judicial cooperation between the ministries of justice of the two countries through the exchange of experiences, training, the organization of workshops, and the exchange of legislation. They also signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the Field of Integrated Water Resources Management, in which they commit to strengthen and develop cooperation in the field of integrated water resources management through the exchange of visits of experts and executives to learn about the experiences of both parties, the exchange of information and documents, and the organization of meetings and seminars between the parties on topics of common interest. The two ministers also signed a decentralized cooperation agreement aimed at creating a favorable framework for promoting decentralized cooperation between the local authorities of Burkina Faso and Morocco, on the one hand, and establishing partnerships between the public structures in charge of supporting local authorities and decentralization in the two countries, on the other. They also signed a decentralized cooperation roadmap for 2023 to 2025, with the aim of creating a framework conducive to the establishment of cooperative relations, twinning, and partnership between the local authorities of the two countries, in accordance with the terms set out in the attached table. The agreement also aims to strengthen cooperation in the field of tourism between the two parties through the development and expansion of their current tourism relations in order to strengthen their economies and enhance mutual understanding of their respective national cultures. The two parties also signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the Field of Sports, which aims to promote and facilitate communication and cooperation between the sports organizations of the two countries, and to define the framework for cooperation programs in the field of sports and leisure based on the principle of reciprocity. In the field of education and training, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed on the same occasion, covering several areas of cooperation between the two parties, including educational and pedagogical innovation, reform of the education system, management of educational projects and programs, and improving retention in educational systems. A cooperation agreement in the field of higher education, scientific research and innovation was also signed, in which the parties undertake to intensify their technical and scientific cooperation with a view to increasing the mobility of actors in the field of higher education, scientific research and innovation, through the mobility of teachers, specialists, and researchers, the exchange of information on national procedures and regulations concerning the equivalence and recognition of diplomas, scientific titles, and university degrees awarded by higher education and scientific research institutions. In addition, the two parties have signed a framework cooperation agreement on academic scholarships, internships, and exchange of expertise, through which they undertake to further promote their cooperation in the cultural, scientific, technical, and socio-economic fields through the exchange of students, experience, and information, and the granting of scholarships. This is, however, not the only time that Morocco has entered into a cooperation with Burkina Faso. Earlier this year, specifically in January, Morocco extended a helping hand to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. During the 48th anniversary of the glorious Green March, the King of Morocco, His Royal Highness King Mohammed VI, announced an international initiative to grant Sahel countries access to the Atlantic Ocean. According to the King, the initiative would allow countries of the Sahel to have access to Morocco's road and port infrastructure. In his own words, Morocco is willing to put its road, port, and rail infrastructure at the disposal of these sister countries in support of this initiative, and stressed that the success of such an initiative hinges on upgrading infrastructure in the Sahel countries and seeking to connect it to transport and communication networks existing in the region. However, Morocco did not just stop at saying that they have granted Sahelian countries access to the Atlantic Ocean. They put their words into action by hosting a ministerial coordination meeting on the royal initiative to enhance Atlantic Ocean access for Sahel countries. This meeting was attended by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Mali, Abdoulaye Diop, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Cooperation, and nationals of Burkina Faso abroad. Karamoko Jean-Marie Traore, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Nationals of Niger abroad. Bakary Yao Sangare, and the Director General for Africa and African Integration of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nationals of Chad abroad and International Cooperation, Abakar Korma. The meeting served to begin laying the foundations for development cooperation, which, according to the Moroccan minister, Nasser Bourita, has been constantly raised by King Mohammed VI when addressing the situation in the Sahel. During the joint press conference held by Morocco and the foreign ministers of the Sahel, Nasser Bourita, Morocco's minister, revealed that the King of Morocco has always taken important decisions in favor of these states, including the exemption of customs duties on the entry of their products into the Moroccan market and the cancellation of their debts. These are the kinds of cooperation between African countries that we need to hear, because it signifies that there are no divisions within the continent and that everybody is working together. African unity is paramount to African progress, and every African leader strives to promote African unity and African integration. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.